evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStar presentation. Tonight we have our second Cybergamer game of the evening, and hopefully it is as cracker of a match as the first one. That was some tip-top action. So we will have Macka and friends versus Doge for LOL in this game. I think they're currently 36 and 62nd because the ladder just got reset and a new elo system has been implemented, so these teams would be top 10 if they weren't back where they shouldn't be. So we'll jump ahead into the champion select. For those who are unaware, we do black out the summoners just so the players can't be sneaky and ghost. Shout out to Klingo, who wants to see if respect bands will go out to Macka. Already we can see the Lee Sin, Riven, Draven and Aurelia bands out. Doge for LOL. They do like to mess around with Macka and his friends, so I wouldn't be surprised if these bans are just for funsies. Rengar will be the last ban out. I think Macka and friends love removing that champion in the bans. He's very difficult for them to deal with, I guess. And Elise will be the final ban out. That would be a pretty standard ban out, I guess. Deathify from... oh, which team is he on? Just trying to think. Well, he's a very good Elise player. And yeah, not surprised to see the spider taken out. We'll have to see what Macka decides to first pick. I believe Macka just did get platinum, which there was a lot of talking about in the lobby, so congratulations to him. Macka's Draven and Aurelia going to be banned out. That'll be a blow to him. For those who are wondering, Macka and friends still looking for sponsorship. So if you know someone who owns a gaming company that sells hardware or whatnot and they're looking to get into the esports scene, they can hit I Am Woodsy up and get rolling on that one. So Lucian will be the first pickup for the Macka and friends guys. He wins most of the games that he's in. Of course, he is very strong. Shout out to Suva, who is agreeing with Klingo that the loss of Draven and Aurelia will hit Macka very hard. I would love to see Sharko locked in. I'm not sure if it actually will be. Jakey plays with a few different champions. We've seen him on Lee Sin to great effect. We'll have to see. And apparently Macka's going to be going with Lucian. Might stop listening to Klingo in a minute. Annie would be interesting. I don't think she wins most of the games that she's in at the moment because the engaged supports are really the ones who make the biggest impact at the moment. Kassadin instantly going to be switched to and locked in there, so we'll be seeing a little bit of the Void Walker running around. Ray's Brass saying Macka is fat, so his fan club is here and in full force, ready to get behind their champion. So we'll have Annie at the bot, Kassadin in the mid. It's very brave to pick Kassadin up this early on in the picks. I mean, at silver level it's a good idea, but when you're playing with golds and platinums, it's he's want to be counted out quite easily. With you can send your AD carry and support, or even just your AD carry mid, and do ridiculous things to him. But they're going to go with Fizz, who of course is quite mobile as well, has a huge amount of burst. And Sunwa has managed to pick up his Zyra. He is very skilled on that champion, has the creepy as heck skin, which we get to see him dying a lot because he is always balls deep. Nidalee and Kale being considered by the Doge for LOL guys. We'll wait to see what they actually decide to go with. So the bottom lane with the Zyra and Lucian, very, very dangerous there. If you get snared up, you will be in a heck of a lot of trouble. And Annie is quite safe with the auto range, not so much with the spells though. I mean, at least Lucian doesn't have the most range himself. He does have the Relentless Pursuit. The W, which is Ardent Blaze, has decent range as well. And it looks like we will be getting... oh, I thought we were going to have Kale, but it will be Vi, who we can assume is going into the jungle. So that will be able to lock up Lucian in the fight. Akali will potentially be going top. I guess we could see Kassadin going top as well, depending on what the enemy team goes. So very, very snowbally assassin-like team for the Doge for LOL guys. It's interesting to see Akali picked up. I think the new masteries are certainly going to help her out. Let's actually have a look at what there is. So particularly these hybrid ones, the spell weaving and the blade weaving, are going to make Akali even stronger. And of course the hybrid penetration at the bottom. As a shout out to Neba, who has tuned in. He is one of GameStar's casters, a veteran of the field. Renekton instantly going to be locked in by Mendrix. We saw him do ridiculously good things on that champion yesterday, turning around a 2-on-1 into a double kill for himself. That was very well done. As the last pickup, which should be the AD carry for Doge for all, unless they decide they want to be a little bit more adventurous. No, they're going to go boring and pick the Ezreal. The very smart, honestly, against the amount of dive coming out from the other team, and of course you can get out of the snare of Zyra quite easily. Turtle Man is there, and we're back into the lobby, so we'll have to figure out what's gone on. At least all the picks went out in the end, and the players are a little bit confused. Well, Macka did not have the right runes, guys, so we'll have to wait till he manages to get back in. Same picks and bans. So Macka's making everyone wait because he doesn't have the right runes. So I guess with his fan club watching, he wants to impress them as much as possible. Klingo is asking whether he will be able to get back in or not. We'll have to see. Yeah, Rec Game saying the professional analysis is tip top. Would have to agree there. Macka has finally made his way back into the lobby here. We'll have to see if they want to get their order ready, or I guess it doesn't really matter now that we know who's going to be played. Rammus was the pickup by Macka and friends. Of course, he is similar to the fiddle that we saw in the last game. Apparently Macka's not even connected still. So Rammus, I don't believe he has been changed just yet. He still has the 3-second puncturing taunt, which is similar to Fiddle's Fear. They're going to be reducing that to 2.25 seconds, as having a single target CC that's strong when it's point and click, probably not the best. Ban's going to be coming out quickly, but we know what's going to be picked, so hopefully these guys can pick up the pace just a little. And we can start talking about the lane matchups and the runes and masteries. The poor Donga going to be banned out there. Not going to be seeing much of the Jaime, and Darius Aurelia at least banned out. If you're just tuning in, guys, this is we've already been through this. We know who's going to get picked up. We're just Macka decided that he needed some proper runes, or that he likes being the center of attention when his fan club's in the Twitch chat. So we had to wait a little bit for that one. Looking forward to the Akali matchup against, trying to remember what it was, the Renekton. Now, Akali has a lot of trouble before 6, and Renekton, he definitely doesn't have trouble before 6. So it's going to be very difficult for, if 4Geek is the one going on that, it will be very difficult for him. But once he picks up the Seeker's Arm Guard, he should be okay there. Or if he opts to go for the Hextech Revolver instead, I personally would go for Seekers, as Renekton's physical damage output is quite ridiculous. So Macka is going to cycle through the champs before he settles down on the Rammus. I am pretty good at predicting this, I must say. Wait for him to go. He's trying to waste as much time as possible, so he will definitely win the Scumbag of the Night award. And Blake 9, trying to remember what they picked up as the AD carry. I believe it was Ezreal. I'll just have to check that one, and of course we're going to black out the summoners until we're into the game. I think we'll have to bring out a second Scumbag of the Night award and award that to Macka as well. Even though he was the first of his team in the lobby, they were playing a game just before, and hopefully he actually, you know, lands on the Rammus. No, going to be going for the Xin Zhao. I think he had, yep, okay. Alright, sorry about this one, guys. He's his own team saying, "Geez Louise." And some other expressions coming out from Rec Game as well. Ooh, we might have to play some music while we wait for this one. Can you ban Macka from CG Ladder? I'll talk to the admins. Don't stream the profanity. We'll do there. waiting to rejoin. I am Woodsy. We need him back in. So we need Macka to pick up the Ramus as he had before. There we go. I am Woodsy has rejoined. Will we be getting back into the champion select? Yes, there we go. So, third time's the charm, they say. Hopefully we actually get the picks out this time. At least they're rocketing through this time. Chef for Pug Admin. Shout out to Spade and Suva, who are saying Chef for Pug Admin, and Klingo, please. Klingo with his Macka analysis. Hopefully he knows Macka in real life and give him a smack upside the head. That would be good. For those who are joining us, this is the third time we've been Champion Select. Both of the restarts have been due to Macka, who has his fan club in the Twitch chat. He will go for the Ramus straight away. He must have been berated by his team. I'm not sure why you can see the flash there. So trying to move the client so it's covered up by the summoner blackout. There we go. So the summoners will be blacked out just so the teams don't know what the other side's running, guys. That's why that is there. And Blake 9 going to settle down on the Ezreal. I am Woodsy saying that his jungler is known for doing this. So we're finally going to be getting into this one, guys, hopefully, and we'll be able to talk about the summoner spells and whatnot. So we'll have Lucian Zyra versus the Annie Ezreal down at the bot, and the mid we will have the Fizz versus the Kassadin. So that's going to be a little bit difficult for Cass early on, although he does have the passive, which gives him a little bit of indoor magic resist. At the top we'll have Renekton versus Akali. So in both mid and top, Macka and friends going to have an early advantage over their lane counterparts. Thanks Macka for allowing us to play, says Jakey in the chat. And then in the jungle we'll have the Ramus versus the Vi. Ramus, of course, a lot slower, a little bit less mobile. He can't jump walls like Vi can. But the puncturing taunt still at 3 seconds, we do believe. So that will be very, very strong. Shout out to Toast My Face, who's also known as Brid the Addle. We're finally going to get in here, guys. The cleanse on Macka going to switch to Ghost at the last second. Probably going to be a lot more beneficial for him. So he does not want to be going over walls. He wants to run straight up to, I assume, the Ezreal. I guess Flash probably going to not be as helpful as the constant movement speed that Ghost provides against the mobility of this team. Wrong mastery, says Jakey, but we're not going to restart for the world here. So I'm interested to see what the Akali will be running, going against the Renekton. Has some armor pen, AP, and magic pen. So the hybrid pen would be for the Crescent Slash, which is the E of Akali. Actually does physical damage, despite, I'm not sure if it scales off of AP, it may be AD, but it does do physical damage, I believe. So that would be for that one, and of course you do like to run up and activate the Mark of the Assassin with auto attacks. So he expects to be brawling it out. We've got the health regen and the veteran scars. Not opting to go for Juggernaut. I guess not going to be building much health. It wouldn't transition into too much. Going for AD and ability power. Going to have a lot of spell vamp from the Martial Mastery 4 geek. So he seems to have done pretty smart for his early game. But of course Mendrix is a very skilled Renekton player, as we saw, was it last night, I think, where he got ganked by a Jackson Lee Sin and turned that around into a double kill for himself with some very nice killing for time. As Macka himself comes into the Twitch chat, is from New Zealand, so if we have any New Zealand players, hunt down Macka and find him. So I Am Woodsy has decided to go for the barrier rather than any kind of mobility summoner, which means his laning phase will be ridiculously difficult for the enemy to deal with. Rekadaddy on the Kassadin. Kassadin does of course have the passive, which reduces the magic damage he takes and turns it into attack speed, but with the barrier that will definitely be going in I Am Woodsy's favour early on. We'll have to see if we can, or if they're able to turn this one around. Now the bottom lane, Lucian and Zyra. I think I'm saying that wrong. Lucian. I think it's Lucian. The black man will be with the plant lady against the confused one with the little gid. So one of those sides is a little bit more appropriate when it comes to political correctness, I guess. There's Brid the Adel having a go in the Twitch chat there. Klingo giving some. Will be interesting to see whether Macka can survive the night. So the analysis continuing to come out there. Back to the title screen for the 4th time of the night, but that will be just so we can get the game up and get into the skin battle here. We can already predict the Halloween skin for Zyra will be on Sunwa. He loves to play the plant lady. He is very good at placing the Stranglethorns down, and loves dying just so we can see that creepy like suspended animation she has as she's held up by the ghost plants. So we're into the skin battle here, and we can see a full lineup from the bottom team. Sunway actually going to go with the base Zyra skin, so I guess he got sick of my whinging about the creepiness of the skin, even though it is an awesome skin. Full Metal Ramus on the Macka, and Fisherman Fizz will be seeing some earth coming out of the ground. And Annie in Wonderland is a pretty decent skin. Blood Moon Akali, I think that might be the skin I've got, not sure. Yes, I believe it is. We got the Harbinger, I think it's Harbinger Cassidon, who is black and red, and Neon Strike Vi, who is based off of one of the characters on One Piece. I never actually watched One Piece, but I know there's a guy with massive arms, and he acts a lot like Israel, so I know that one is off of that. Tiny90, shout out to him, he's saying that is Lucien. Okay, so I was right the first time. The weird way I was saying it was indeed the correct way. So, Lucy and Zyra versus the Ezreal Annie at the bottom lane. Going to be a bit of a skill matchup. There's a fair bit of mobility in the AD carries, and it would be interesting to see which items the supports decide to start out with. Both of them have very long auto attack ranges. Both of them scale quite nicely with AP. So the Spell Thief's Edge could be a decent pickup, but of course if they're a little bit afraid of the other, these teams have faced each other many times, so they may opt to go for the coin. Or the medallion or whatever, just to get a little bit of the more passive gold and let the AD carries deal with that. If I had to guess, I'd say they'll go with the AP item. Finally into the game here, and we'll go over both the teams. So we'll just quickly fix this up here. So we like to have it in the order of top jungle, mid, AD carry, and support. And sometimes it takes me a little longer than it really should have to get these working. There we go. So we're finally into the game here, representing Macka and friends, who are currently number 32 with 0 elo, whatever it is, on the new ladder. We will have Sunwa on the base Zyra skin. He will be joined by McNugget XD on the Lucian. At the top we will have Mendrix. In the jungle we will have Macka on the Metal Ramus, and I'm Woodsy on the only hero in the game to survive without flash, and that is Fizz. So on the Doge for LOL team we have Jakey as the Neon Strike Vi, 4Geek up the top as the Akali, not joining in his team. He did decide to go for the cloth armor. Gabby will be the Annie, going to charge up the stun with the Incinerate there. He will be joined by Blake9, who was just standing on a ward with the rest of his team. The Macka and friends guys taking an interesting position there. And last but not least, we have Wreck Daddy on the Harbinger Cassidon. So good luck, have fun to both teams, goes out from the Twitch chat. It'll be very interesting to see how both of these solo lanes go. Cassidon and Akali both have a little bit of trouble before 6, but once their mobility ultimates come out, they find it a lot better to burst down. Cassidon, of course, did have the changes, which makes... They tried to make it so if you're aggressive with the Rift Walk, you get rewarded more for it, which is always a good thing. So it looks like after all the posturing back and forth from the teams, we will have Macka starting at the red, which is quite handy for Ramus. He's very, very slow in the first 3 to 4 levels, so having the added damage of the dot from red buff will definitely help out. Jakey going to be opting for the blue buff with the denting blows, allows you to get the CDR and the excessive force and be able to spam that one out. McNugget XD going to meet up with Gabby and Blake9 here, going to be stunned up there. Was the wrong way to go, but he should be able to get out. Piercing Light going to do a lot. Oh, Sunway going to take that Mystic Shot and prevent any summoners having to be blown. So McNugget going to blow his potion that they are allowed to start with now that Dorans is cheap. Sunway going to be forced to flash out though. Blake9 9, and Gabby going to be taking a lot of damage, actually. There is a ward in the bush, so the minions will be following Gabby there. So a lot of excitement in the mid. Meanwhile, in the mid, I Am Woodsy going to, has he had anything popped? He has the Ignite down, but the barrier is available. Both of the junglers paying a lot of attention to the mid here, as Macka only at the level 2, as is his opponent. And Jakey and Macka are going to be having a little bit of an engage for the red buff, but Jakey is well aware that Macka is coming in. I Am Woodsy going to be coming in to give a hand there, and even Mendrick's going to be coming down. Looks like the top lane was a little bit passive, but now successful steal. You don't often see Vi being bullied out of her own jungle. It would normally be Rammus being bullied this early, but very well done by Macka and friends. I believe in the 2 games they've had against Doge for LoL, they've lost both. So they'll be very happy with that start. Jakey going to be able to get the big Wraith there. A lot of damage going on to McNugget XD at the bottom lane, but they will be able to back out there. Jakey did manage to get the big golem. Iron Woodsy going to be falling lower and lower. Does pop the barrier, but the Ignite will be enough to take him down. And first blood will go to Wreck Daddy after both junglers are paying a lot of attention to the mid. Jakey has been jumped on by Mendrix, and the Ignite will certainly be enough there. Blue buff hands over to that one. Meanwhile, at the bottom, McNugget XD going to take more damage. So, a quick back and forth in the mid there. First blood and assist going over to the Doge for LOL fellas. And they're a couple of hundred in the lead at the moment, which isn't really too much, but Mendrix with the successful roam down, gonna let 4Geek get some easy experience and gold, but blue buff Renekton is gonna be able to spam that Cull the Meek, and Akali using the Twilight Shroud that is 4Geek for the free defenses that it does give you while you're in. Not too much, but early game it is quite decent, so Sunwhite going to be trying to last hit under the tower here while McNugget XD goes back. The CS is vastly in Blake 9's favour at the moment, and that would definitely because McNugget took an unfortunate route into the lane and got jumped on by Annie and Ezreal. You generally want to come in this way and this way just to avoid anything like that, particularly since Annie always has her stun available early game. Macka is, we've seen him do this before. He's been very, very aggressive on junglers that really should not be aggressive this early on. Looks like I'm Woodsy going to be coming up to the top here. They realize that 4Geek needs some attention paid to him. Jakey will spot out I Am Woodsy here as Mendrix will engage onto 4Geek. The stealth will go off. 4Geek going to get the flash away. Assault and Battery will go out. Not Assault and Battery, sorry. The Vault Breaker going to be used there to disengage, and again this is leaving Cassidy to get some free experience and gold, and he's got the tier. He'll be probably going for the Catalyst of the Protector next, and Macka and friends, they're having some high risk maneuvers and it's not working out the best for them at the moment, as Macka is going to be holding the mid, as I'm Woodsy going to be heading back down. 4Geek almost has the ultimate available. Mendrix, I would not be surprised to see him pick up a quick Spectre's cow to try and survive the burst that Akali will be putting out once she picks up the ultimate. Damage down at the bottom lane, going more into Macka and friends' favour. Has Blake 9 gone back? No, he has not, so he's up against a double Doran's Blade Lucian, and of course Zyra has some decent damage herself. So it's not too surprising to see that one. The ultimate Rift Walk is available for Wreck Daddy. Not going to be using it aggressively there. Iron Woodsy going to be backing out. 4Geek at the top falling very low, and down at the bottom the Doge for low guys falling very low as well. So purple health bars looking low all over the place. Rift Walk going to go out by Wreck Daddy and gets the Taunt on. Iron Woodsy going to be coming in. Does not have the Shark available. Going to get the Ignite off. Rift Walk will avoid that playful Trickster damage. And the mid lane definitely taking a lot of focus from Macka, who has not yet gone back. Will he get the taunt off? No, he will not. And going to start recalling. They get interrupted by the minions. Both of the bottom lane of Macka and friends going to be going back as well. Jakey trying to clear as much of this as he can. Has he gone back? He's picked up the Spirit Stone for himself. 4Geek being very, very brave here. As soon as Mendrix... Oh, he actually does have the Dominus available. Looks like it will be going in. 4Geek, will he fall? No. the lack of pink ones. Oh, actually, the Ignite will go down onto 4 gig. Dominus will give Mendrix enough health to survive that. Will Mendrix get the engage on? The Slice and Dice has a lot of time till it's available again. 4 gig going to be zoned out here, and Mendrix going to take over the lane 4 now. Managed to catch up very nicely in the CS. Macka in the right place at the wrong time, just a little too late. McNugget XD going to pick up the level 3. And the piercing light there, as Tibber's not yet available for the Annie, and Stranglethorn's not yet available for Zyra. Now the CS definitely in Blake 9's favour, but Ezreal definitely falls off harder than Lucian does. We can see the snare going to land there, but Blake 9 not too worried. Going to take a decent chunk of damage from the plants there as they poke away at him. Wreck Daddy going to be handed over the blue. That will give him intense amounts of mobility, so the lanes are going to have to be very careful that he does not roam around. Hextech Revolver was the pickup by 4 gig, able to stick around long enough to pick that one up, as I Am Woodsy going to be jumped on in the mid lane here. Takes a combo from the Cassidon and the Vi, but Assault and Battery was not available yet, and he does have both the Barrier and Churn of Waters available. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but most of Vi's moves are they're actual charges in real life, so well, I know that Excessive Force and Assault and Battery are things you can be charged with in real life. Vault Breaker, I'm not too sure. That might just be, you know, she breaks into vaults a lot. And Denting Blows, that wouldn't have anything to do with it. So I know that, like, at least half of her moves are actual charges in real life that you can get in trouble for. And she is a turnaround cop. So we have lag from I Am Woodsy. We're just trying to fix that one up there. We'll probably turn the chat off because these guys are going to start getting a little vulgar. So the top lane with Hex Drink actually picked up. So Mendrix going for the more aggressive pickup there. As well, we're trying to find out what happened. It looks like Fizz is down just a little bit. Macka's saying someone's farm is not the best. Maybe he's talking to I Am Woodsy there, having a very difficult time. Going to be going for the Sheen next. How much gold is the Cass packing? He has enough for the Catalyst and a Ward, should he decide to go for that. So this is very, very dangerous that Cassidon is doing this well early on. Actually has the most CS in the game apart from his AD carry. Farm going the way of Doge all over the map. They're at a 700 gold lead after that first blood they picked up. Now, Mendrix, how much is he worth? He's 2,200 to the 8 or 1,900 of 4 gigs. So that'll be just the kill that he came down to get. We're just waiting for the play to resume. Blake 9 is a bit upset that Macka isn't paying him any attention. He's saying that he's not worth the trouble. But of course, when you got stuns, flash, barrier, and of course the arcane shift, it would be very difficult for Rammus to lock the Ezreal down. So not too surprising there. Wreck Daddy, will he be going for the Ward and Catalyst that I said, or will I look like a nincompoop? Well, he picks up the Catalyst, decides to go Potions instead. I guess he wants to sustain against the Fizz. Not too worried about the ganks from Macka that may cost him that overconfidence. Blake 9 has the Phage now. McNugget XD looks like he will be going for the Vamp Scepter first. Could be going Bloodthirster as his first item. And more lag from poor I Am Woodsy. Just trying to fix that one. And yeah, so we don't have much to talk about. Looks like there's an engage going on at the top. It's weird because Akali loves to go all in, but Mendrix, I mean, he's got an extra 250 health with the Hex Drinker. He's got some decent magic resist, and the Dominus more health, and he loves to have exchanges. So this is going to be quite difficult for 4 gig, because normally on Akali you want to throw out the Mark of the Assassin until they're half health and then all in them. But Renekton's really, really difficult to take down early on. So if 4 gig isn't careful, he's just going to be engaged upon and taken out by Mendrix. Although he has been using the Twilight Shroud very, very well to stealth and escape there. Used his flash early on to escape the gank. And now we'll have to see if the game is going to resume. Yeah, sorry about the delays, guys. Not much we can do about it. What are the chances that Koldemeek will hit up at the top? We'll have to check out what's going on. And of course, Wreck Daddy looks as though he is heading to the top lane there, as Jakey going to be holding the mid. Still doesn't have the Assault and Battery available, but I would wager that he's getting closer and closer to that. Would not be surprised to see McNugget XD and Sunwhite take some heat down there once the assault and battery is available. If the relentless pursuit isn't used perfectly, then that will spell the doom. It's interesting to see no red trinkets picked up by either team. You normally see the supports and sometimes the junglers go with that, but everyone's gone warding totem, so they prefer the vision rather than a denial of vision. In the chat. So apparently there's some deportation going on. We might turn the chat off. And not much to do but wait. And shout out to Hofdos, who's saying damn. And actually there, I wasn't looking at the timer, but it will then reset. Mendrick's going to be taking a bit of damage there, but of course Koldomik will heal him back up. Oh, I'm so sorry guys, we missed the engage at the bottom lane. Did not expect that one, but Macka was there the whole time. They know that there's no wards in the try there. Now, will Sunwa manage to land anything? As yes, they're going to engage right on top of him. The Stranglethorns is fantastically done, and Gabby will definitely be falling there. Macka comes in to secure that one. Culling goes off by McNugget XD, because why not? And very nicely done by Macka and friends. Mendrick's going to be taking some heat up at the top lane. The Hex Drinker, will it allow him to survive? Dominus gets it off before he gets silenced, and will survive that one. So Wreck Daddy and 4Geek not able to pick Mendrick's up there, and he's actually going to stick around, relying on the Koldomik to survive. Macka and friends going to turn this one into a dragon. They're 300 in the lead. True Shot Barrage is coming down though. Will it be enough to steal? Not quite. The smite will go off by Macka, and he redeems himself in the eyes of his fan club. As Jakey, does he have the assault and battery? He does indeed, but he will take a grasping roots to the face. Going to continue as Cassidy is coming in here. The plant will block him out for then. The plant and the pink ward going to be taken out here. Wreck Daddy waiting off to the side just in case. But it looks like Macka and friends taking the very smart option of walking away with their advantage. They're now 800 gold in the lead, so very well done there. And of course they did waste some of the time of Wreck Daddy. I am Woodsy going to be, didn't actually pick up much from that, but the dragon will help him a lot. It would have given him a lot of experience, gone from level 6 to level 7 there. 4Geek, this is very, very bold actually. Mendrix, does he have a pink ward available to chuck down should Akali jump into this smoke? It's not actually coming up. So we'll assume that, oh actually we can look down here. No, he does not. Sheen has been picked up by both Lucian and the Fizz, as Mendrix going to be 3v1'd here. Does not have Dominus available. They're going to blow Assault and Battery just so he cannot get out, but he manages to slice and dice through the minions. Perseverance going to give him a little bit of healing. Oh, Koldomik almost gets him out, and Jakey very wisely tanking the tower there so that the AP assassins on his team can finish that one off. So Macka going to pick himself up the blue buff. I'm Woodsy going to come in from behind, and the smoke used by 4Geek there, it does grant vision, so they will know that Macka is coming in. I am Woodsy going to be coming around. I know something's happening at the bottom lane, guys. We'll have to go back and see what happens there. I'm just not sure. No, it looks like nothing's going on. So at the bottom lane, we will jump back 15 seconds to see what happens. I saw some posturing back and forth. Blake 9 going to get the True Shot Barrage off. It hits both Sunwa and McNugget XD. Nice flash to avoid the grasping roots there, but equally nice flash from McNugget XD to avoid Gabby's Tibbers. And after all is said and done, Mendrix is the only casualty. Gold is bang on even between the teams, and no towers have gone down just yet, so this is most definitely anyone's game, as Macka is in trouble up at the top. Will end up falling there, was caught a little bit out of position. As at the bottom lane, Blake 9 going to take a tower shot, going to be forced to get off of the Stranglethorn's tower, going to hit Gabby as Ignite goes off onto Sunwa. Oh, nice flash by Sunwa to secure that one. Very well done. They're only 100 gold in the lead. Will the piercing light be enough? Oh, and he almost had the burst to pick that one up. Wreck Daddy falling very low in the mid, and oh, the Sea Stone Trident going to be enough. So just like that, 3 kills picked up by Macka and friends. Now a solid 1,000 in the lead. So despite Macka and Mendrix feeding up at the top, it will not be too bad for them in the end, as that was crazy, absolutely crazy, that series of events. 1,100 in their favor. We'll have to see what the Doge for LOL guys decide to do. So, reminder guys, these teams have met each other twice, and both times Doge for LOL have won, which is the purple team. So we'll have to see if the Macka and friends can get their first win against their rivals. A shout out to Ray's bruh, who says GG. I guess he means that the action was very exciting. How much gold do we have on the Cassin? It's really weird. The CS in this game is very, very low, apart from Blake 9 on the Ezreal. Not again, nothing against the players. It's just that they're being so aggressive against each other that they can't afford to farm. They've got to try and react to what's going on. Oh, what is happening? Mendrix up at the top. We'll jump back 15 seconds to see what happens here, guys. And Mendrix is going to get the engage upon. Going to use the W on the minion there. He's going to pop the Dominus quite soon. 4Gig going to wait for a charge on the ultimate there. Stealth goes off. Sunlight is going to disconnect 4Gig. Just waiting around, taking more damage from the Dominus. And just manages to jump to the minion. What is Akali's ultimate called? It is the Shadow Dance. Able to get that away. Mendrix going to be regenning there. As down at the bottom lane, we can see Ironwoodsy and Macka. They're going to be jumping onto Wreck Daddy. Ghost goes out by Macka. He's going to get over the wall there. As I think that was the culling. And Mendrix actually ends up falling thanks to Jakey going up to the top lane. So 4Geek doing a fantastic job on the Akali. Down at the bottom lane, we're going to jump back 15 seconds, guys. I am all over the place at the moment. So, Mendrix is going to fall down at the bottom. Wreck Daddy will be coming in here. McNugget moving forward just at the wrong time. It was a nice engage on Gabby, but it will not be enough. True Shot Barrage will get that one. Wreck Daddy going to have Churn the Waters used on him. Stranglethorns goes off. Double kill for Blake 9. Wreck Daddy going to jump out of that one. Macka going to be trying to come in, but Blake 9 will be warding him off. Actually forced a flash to avoid the puncturing taunt. Ends up being a few kills for the Doge for LOL, guys, and they will take the top tower, which catapults them into a 1.4k gold lead. Ironwoodsy taking more and more damage and ended up taking down as Macka can do nothing here. The Bunny Tibbers is going to be whacking away. Macka, I'm not sure what he's doing. Can he get out of this one? No, double kill for Blake 9 just like that. He picks up 4 very quick kills for himself with the nice True Shot Barrage before. And holy guacamole, nice play by 4Geek there. Going to be jumping over the wall with the vision that Smoke provides to Shadow Dance away and pick himself up some gold for that one. So, absolutely crazy in both these teams. Already had a crazy game before, so my voice is starting to go. I have to try and keep that one up. We'll have a look at what's going on in the chat. Lucian OP apparently. Not sure why Blake 9 is saying that when he gets 4 kills, but whatevs. The Cassin, it's really annoying that the thing up here is not coming up, because that's what I rely on. Sorcerer Shoes being picked up by Wreck Daddy on the Cassidon, only packing the 150 at the moment. He wants to try and get that Rod of Ages stacking as soon as possible. True Shot Barrage going to be used at the bot to engage their Sunlight in a heck of a lot of trouble. Jakey and Wreck Daddy going to jump in on top of him. Jakey is all over the place in this game. The culling will go off, doesn't manage to do too much. Assault and Battery going to be used. Macka, will he be able to arrive in time? Barrier will be used, but Wreck Daddy picks up the double kill with the burst that Cassidon has, despite stacking mana there, as Gabby is here to try and get the engage of. Actually, Blake 9 going to be in the mid, forcing Ironwoodsy off. Ezreal looking very squishy for Ironwoodsy, but Arcane shifts out of there. Mendrix going to be up at the top, trying to push that one off. Is working towards the Spirit Visage by picking up the Kindle Gem first. Cedia, very nice on the Croc, obviously. So Wreck Daddy doing a great job, as well as Jakey, of being all over the place, exactly where they are needed. We're missing something. Ironwoodsy falling very low in the mid, but beautifully played there, and we'll have to see exactly how that one happened. I'll try and actually catch action as it goes on. Sheen proc will go off on the Q of Fizz. Nice Churn the Waters will land. Barrier will absorb a lot of that burst, but Mendrix will get the flash forward and slice and dice through the Ezreal, which allows the Seastone Trident to finish that one up. As the shutdown gold, I do believe it went to Ironwoodsy. He'll be very happy picking up that bounty. He's currently worth, with that pickup, he's worth about 800 less than his counterpart, Wreck Daddy. Dragon is going to level up as Macka going to use the roll to disengage from Jakey there. Wreck Daddy, will he be jumping in here? No, he's not quite ready yet. He could potentially go for Macka, going to throw the E over the wall. Dragon is still alive, and now Carly is here with Blake 9 on his way. Oh, Mendrix will be engaged upon, and he's not quite tanky enough to take that one, but a beautiful Stranglethorns will come up. Dominance will keep him alive for now, but Ignite will finish him off. Rag Daddy going to secure that one with the Rift Walk over the wall. Macka is under the tower. Do they want to go for him? Looks like they do. True Shot Barrage barely going to miss there. Jakey taking a piercing light to the face. Rag Daddy going to be attacked by Lucian. Take a little bit more damage. Macka is just sitting under this tower. He's cut off from the rest of his team. Will he be able to get out? It does not look like it. He's going to start recalling. 4Geek will secure that one. The much desired kill on the Macka there as I Am Woodsy. Oh, he's standing on the exact same place they got caught last time. Sunwa going to get assault and battered. Flash away. Will manage to avoid most of the damage there. So nicely timed flash by Sunwa. Ends up being a 2 for 0 when all is said and done in Doge for LOL's favour, and they will be going for the Dragon as well. Mendrix going to be heading back. Will there be any steals coming out here? 4Geek going to jump over the wall. The culling will go off. Looks like Doge for LOL going to wait until that one stops going. Sunwa taking more and more damage from 4Geek. Mendrix is over the wall here. Showing the water's going to go off on 4Geek, and it will be enough. Shutdown goes off. Another one for I Am Woodsy. Gabby going to get the Ignite and the auto attack down. Tibbers not sure where that was meant to be going, but Mendrix will get the slice and dice up in time to pick that one up. Wreck Daddy going to disengage there. Will they fall? The taunt goes off despite the rift walk going off. Wreck Daddy almost definitely going to go down that one. Another shutdown going to I Am Woodsy. Mendrix going to have his Hex Drinker popped from the AoE aura of Tibbers, and Macka will be able to get Gabby here unless he gets juked, but not for long. Another kill picked up by the blue team. It ends up being a 1 for 3 with Dragon going the way of Doge for LOL, and the gold is almost 4,000 in Doge for LOL's favour, but they could quickly be losing their mid tower. The only tower they've lost is the top, so very nicely turned around by Macka and friends there with an extended chase. Bottom tower will go down though in response to the mid one, and it is still at about a 4,500 gold lead to Doge for LOL. Will Blake 9 be able to get out of this one? The puncturing taunt lasts forever. Grasping Roots will be placed down, and the Stranglethorns, but the Arcane Shift will be enough to avoid both the Stranglethorns and the Ramus ulti, which of course is called Tremors. Doesn't look like Tremors with the blades going through the floor, but whatevs, it's close enough. Now it looks like of course, Tremors does damage towers, and it will not be available for this push here. Macka going to be trying to zone out Blake 9 and Gabby. Oh, the flash, the stun will go down, but McNugget is right in here. Culling will go off on Blake 9. The barrier will absorb enough of it for him to survive there. Jakey falling low in the mid lane as Blake 9 forced to flash out there. Jakey did himself flash away, or was it a flash? No, he did indeed flash away. So both of those cooldowns blown quickly by Macka and friends. Now 4Geek going to be using the smoke to get some vision. 3v3 at the moment. I Am Woodsy starting to catch up in the gold. Barrier will be popped, and 4Geek going to use the Shadow Dance to try and get out. Wreck Daddy going to get some damage down onto Sun by shut down on I Am Woodsy by 4Geek. Mendrix going to pop the Dominus and slice across Annie's face as the disengage still going off. Macka is in, but cannot do too much at the moment as Vi and Ezreal quickly making their way down. McNugget XD still at the bottom as Lucian pushing that lane out. He will get off the recall in time. Will the counter pushing in the mid be enough? There is 4 purple players here, but of course their only ranged is Annie, as Assault and Battery will go off onto Mendrix. He does not have the Dominus available, as Macka going to get a nice knockback from the rollout, but it will not be enough. 2 kills quickly picked up, as well as a tower for the Doge for LOL, guys. And meanwhile, the bottom lane being pushed out by Blake 9. We'll jump back into the screen here. McNugget XD going to take some burst from the Cassidy, who has managed to pick up the Rod of Ages now. And Doge for LOL going to walk away with their advantage now at a 6,500 gold lead. Whew, okay, so that was insane. 4Geek managing to pick up a shutdown in there. Going to go straight for the Hourglass and the Merc Treads. Doesn't have enough to complete either of those yet. Needs about 500 to complete either. I would go for the Hourglass first if I was them. Blake 9 will get Churn the Waters on, and the culling will go off. Going to jump into the red buff. That was definitely not where he wanted to go, but Wreck Daddy will be able to pick up McNugget XD. Strangle Thorns goes off. Will it be enough? It knocks Wreck Daddy up in the air, and double kill goes on to I Am Woodsy. After a very shaky start, he's been picking up bounties left, right, and center, and has managed to pick up the Lich Bane as well as a needlessly large rod, so that bad start may have not even happened. As far as his item progression goes, Fizz does fantastic in the late game. 4Gig going to be hunting himself a plant lady. Sunwa just down here trying to push it out. Has the Talisman of Ascension, whereas Needlessly Large Rod finished by Annie. And actually, Sunwa's just pushing forward into the bush here. Will he be able to escape? Soon he'll be able to see 4Gig sneaking up behind him in the mid. There's something going on with Macka. There's 4Gig. Will he be able to catch up to Sunwa? Yes, he does have another charge of the Shadow Dance. The whatever it is called, not the revolver, the gunblade will go off. There was some recalling going on in the mid. Looks like it is still happening, but the Doge for LOL guys going to walk away with their advantage. The top tower actually going to fall to Mendrix, so the last of the tier 1s will fall. Assault and Barrier goes off on Macka. Will be taken down very quickly by the Doge for LOL guys. Macka not quite as tanky as he wants to be just yet. Wreck Daddy going to be Rift walking out of there. Really wish I could... oh, hang on. There we go. So I've been missing this for so long, and I finally get it back. Must have misclicked something. So we can see that Doge for LOL still at about 6,500 gold lead. True Shot Barrage goes off by Blake 9 to stop the push. Oh, we'll continue the push at the top. Push in the mid going very strong, as well as at the bot. Mendrix going to be jumped on here. Pops the Dominus, and the shot will land thanks to his stun. Wreck Daddy going to try and flash out. Takes the Seastone Trident. Playful Trickster will be enough. Gabby going to try and burst down Mendrix before she goes down, but will not be enough. Iron Woodsy picking up another 2 for himself. Meanwhile, we'll jump back 15 seconds and see exactly what happens here. McNugget going to be jumped onto the tower, and the culling is not the best of timings, but the tower aggro juggled very well by the purple team. They will pick that one up as Iron Woodsy gets his double kill. The bottom tower falling lower and lower. Mac is going to be zooming in for that one. Blake 9 not involved at all in the fight. Going to be trying to take the top tower. Mac are going to be coming in. Will he manage to pick up 4Gig? Tremors is, or just been popped there. Will he manage to get out the slow from Playful Trickster? Will stop him going down. Jakey going to Vault Breaker over the wall. I Am Woodsy going crazy with picking up the kills left, right, and center. The top tier 2 will end up falling after all of that, but geez, these engages. Oh, okay, so the dragon has now respawned. It is warded up by Doge for LOL. Iron Woodsy going to pick himself up the race despite picking up all these kills. Still quite behind on the experience, although Wreck Daddy is the same level. Going to be going for the death cap now, or perhaps for the Archangel's staff, as well as Hourglass. Oh, nice dodge on the True Shot Barrage there by Iron Woodsy. Flash forced by Blake 9. If Macka can get the taunt on, that will be a dead Ezreal, but both teams will back away from each other. The dragon going to be started up by Macka and friends there. I don't think this one will be taken away. Talisman of Ascension popped by Sunwa there, as they're going to pull away from the dragon straight away. Senna says Lucian, or Vault Breaker will finish off Zyra there. The culling was taken out straight away by the Assault and Battery. Gabby going to be falling lower and lower before getting managed to pick up a kill there. Mendrix going to be flashing forward, takes down Gabby. May also get Blake 9 double kill for the Cassidon. Will Mendrix be able to pick up the Ezreal? No, not quite. Arcane shifts over the wall, and Ace picked up in return for just the death of their support. Doge for LOL doing a great job there. Looks like they're going to go straight for the mid lane. Whew. And of course they've still got, and I was just going to say they've got an Ezreal with him, but he's over at the bottom lane farming up a Storm. He's at 178. So mid tower going to fall very quickly. The only piece of infrastructure left outside the base for Macka and friends is down here, and it is looking very unhealthy. Looks like the purple team will be recalling off of that one with Wreck Daddy packing the 1,300 gold, but they decide they want to take the dragon before they go, which is smart because Macka and friends would very quickly gobble up that objective if they did leave it. So they will pick that one up for themselves. A damage Vi build. We saw the potential it had in that fight with him picking up a double on Sunwa and McNugget XD. And then, of course, we saw Mendrix and Macka taken out by Wreck Daddy in the end. So the damage on Doge for LOL is insane. They're a very squishy team, but it doesn't even matter at this point. They've got the control in the fights that they need, as Macka going to be tanking up a few hits of the tower. Gabby going to be trying to sprint forward and get the tibbers off, but disengage goes from Macka and friends, wisely backing out of that one. Now, the tier 1 at the bottom for Doge for LOL still stands and is very weak, and I think earlier I said that all the tier 1s are down. I was a dirty liar. But it wouldn't be too much for Macka and friends to get that one. Mendrix could probably take that down very quickly should he decide to. But with the abilities going, he definitely wants to be in the thick of the team fight. So Macka going to be rolling forward here. Gets stunned up by the Annie. Starts recalling. Jakey going to start spamming the Neon Vi to joke away. But it was a little bit too much there. The Stranglethorns was not necessary. But Churn the Waters will go off by the Rammus. Blake 9 does not have flash available. Going to use the Wolves as a buffer against Macka and stop the rollout. I'm going to find out what that Q's called. It is Powerball. So I thought it was a rollout, but it is that. Blake 9 going to be caught by the roots there. Gets taunted up by Macka. Will be standing there for a little while, but gets the tremors blown. Mendrix going to be falling lower and lower, but the Hex Drinker may just save him. The Ignite will not be enough. Macka falls to Blake 9 in the end. Is True Shot Barrage available? No, it is not. Mendrix should be able to get out of this one, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 with both of the junglers falling there. Wreck Daddy, the smoke was used, and Mendrix was forced to vacate that recalling spot. How is the gold looking? There is 1,000 on Akali. There is 1,500 on Cassidy. He has the death cap, so he's not far away from being able to pick up the Archangel Staff. His tier is almost stacked, so once he gets a Void Staff, he'll be looking very scary. But he's decided to go for it looks like he will be getting Spirit Visage in the end, which I mean against Iron Woodsy, who is doing fairly well on the items himself. Probably a pretty smart rollout. Blazion from Celestial Esports pointing out the rollout is from Pokemon, not from Rammus. So hopefully I managed to call it Powerball in the interim. So Wreck Daddy with the Spectre's Cow going to be looking very, very tanky there, and his damage is just insane. So I'm not sure how Macka and friends are going to be able to deal with this. Blazion indeed pointing out that the mobility for Doge for LOL, particularly Cassidy and Ezreal, it's very, very difficult for Rammus to get the taunt out that he needs in these fights. Of course, there is no cleanse on Blake 4. Macka going to be running forward. Does he get a taunt off? No, the Assault Battery will go off on Iron Woodsy. There's a lot of damage going on to Jakey. He did go with the tanky build. The culling will go off as Cassidy will chase down. Jakey ends up falling to Mendrix. 4Geek going to be jumping forward right into his own smoke. Wreck Daddy, will he be jumping forward? Blake 9 will pick up the kill on Mendrix, so it is 1-for-1 at the moment with blue team in full retreat mode. The assassins coming forward. Sunwa forced to flash away from the incoming AP monsters that are Wreck Daddy and 4Geek. The tower going to be pushed very hard here. The only tier 2 remaining is at the bottom lane. Looks like they're going to go straight for the tier 3 though here. As Wreck Daddy going to be jumping forward. Almost instantly takes down McNugget XD, but the barrier will be enough to save it. But nice True Shot Barrage will get the snipe there by Blake 9. And they do get the tower as well. Blake 9 going insane there. Wreck Daddy is on a killing spree. Seastone Trident will be enough. Beautiful kill there by Iron Woodsy onto the Cassidy. But the rest of his team is falling very quickly. Nice little shadow dance to get away by 4Geek onto the minions there. I'd say he's definitely an Akali player. Mendrix forced to flash away. Blake 9 going very deep to try and pick that one up, but will not be enough in the end. They'll just go over and take out the inhibitor. And it looks like Baz Kebab maybe on the menu for Doge for LOL here. They're definitely backing off towards it. Jakey going to start it up there. Does, of course, have the smite. Deals 800 damage at level 14. And I can hear something going off in the chat. What is it? Cheeky, says Macka on the Rammus. Of course, there is vision here for the blue team that will be cleared out quite quickly, and it looks like they will actually, Macka and friends going to force the retreat of Doge for LOL. They have an opportunity now to take the Baron themselves. Looks like they're going to go straight for it. I don't think Purple Team can contest this one. No, they're going to try and sprint their way over. Wreck Daddy is going to be headed on over. Culling going to be doing not that much damage to Baron, honestly, and this one is falling quite slowly. Man, Nugget XD was dead just a little bit too much to try and get the farm up that he needs. Wreck Daddy going to be jumped on. Churn, the waters will go off. Gabby gets ignited up. 4Geek going crazy. No kills have given him another Shadow Dance yet. Wreck Daddy, will he end up falling? He does indeed. Double kill for the Fizz, but they end up falling as well. McNugget XD going to flash out, but 4Geek follows up with his own flash of Shadow Dances there, as Sunwa will be finished off, shoots it off into the waiting mouth of the Baron. Another ace for Doge for lol, and it was a nice try by Macka and friends, but that may spell their end, as the super minion's going to be charging forward here. Jakey with not much health, and Blake 9 with a full bar of it, going to be pushing forward here. No one is alive for another few seconds. I think this may be all she wrote, as both the Nexus Towers going to fall. GG is going to be called in the chat, and the blue Nexus will end up falling, making this 3 wins in a row, but of course they had to take Macka down first. This will be 3 wins in a row for Doge Flob. Mendrix having a... Oh, actually the game may not end just yet, as Jakey going to fall, but the minions will end up finishing that one off before 4Geek falls. Triple kill for 4Geek, and manages to get away with his life there, as an absolutely crazy game comes to its conclusion. Whoa, okay, so we're going to have to pick an MVP for that one. I am not sure if you guys in the Twitch chat want to give me an idea on who should win the most valuable player. I would like to hear your thoughts. We could give it to Macka for his amazing Rammus play, but he did troll us at the start, and I'm not a fan of giving it to the trolls. So I think we'll have to name someone on the blue side. I am in favor of giving it to 4Geek on Akali. I think he did a brilliant job. He used the Shadow Dance to disengage exactly when he needed to. He survived an incredibly tough lane. Mendrix is a very skilled Renekton player, so ending up 14-11 is no mean feat. And we'll give a runner-up to Gabby on the Annie. As looks like James, please, and Jakey saying, oh, it is a girl, so congratulations to 4Geek, who we assume is a guy, and Gabby, who is female, for winning the MVPs there. 4Geek winning the main one. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. We very much appreciate it. 2 completely crazy games tonight. I'll have to get the VODs uploaded. As Wreck Daddy did a fantastic job on the Cassidy, but... it's tough to say. They're both very mobile AP assassins that kill anyone that they set their sights on, so it's a hard one to call. I think 4Geek should win it in the end, though, with honourable mentions to Gabby and Rected. I mean, even Blake 9, he was doing a great job at landing the Mystic shots. Jakey was all over the place in the game, so... And, of course, I am Woodsy doing a fantastic job at catching back up. Sunwa with some fantastic Stranglethorns that we know he is capable of. McNugget XD died a couple too many times, but his damage output was pretty crazy. Let's see how much damage the Lucian ended up dealing. So 16,500 to champions, despite being dead a lot of the time, is a very good feat indeed. And Mendrix doing well on the Renekton. Macka, I don't think we need to say anything here, is a very good Rammus player. So, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. Congratulations to Doge for lol for their 3rd win in a row against Macka and his friends. Congratulations 4Geek for pulling out the Akali and managing to land MVP. And thank you for tuning in, guys. So, we will be putting the VOD up on YouTube and the GameStar website when it's up. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like your game to be cast, please head on over to the GameStar Facebook. Give us some details. We'd be very happy to oblige. This is Cold Blood, signing out.